Hey guys, my name's Colwen. Hope you all enjoyed me making that video on making that T-slot cleaner thing, and I've got some more metal to talk about. So this right here, these are all just these aren't really usable objects in the sense of they're gonna be used somewhere, but they're just practicing me. It's like, go, drill holes in a piece of wood, or go do this practice thing on a piece of wood. Well, in this case, what I had to do is I had to cut the plate out, and I had to use the strier, the little lines things, to draw and get everything in the right spot. But I want to say it was this one. When I drilled it slightly off, and I knew that if I went in with the bigger drill bit, it would have been just ruined. So, like that, I know there's a way to fix this. And yes, there is. What we did is we put it on the mill, and we squared it all up, and we zeroed it all out. We used the digital readout, and we were able to get the cutter head right there where we needed it, and then just bore straight through it. And yeah, the small hole was there, and that helped, but we turned the small hole in the wrong spot into a bigger hole in the right spot. And that's something you can do with this stuff. But what I really want to talk about is, in class, we're getting into doing the mill work, where we are taking bits of metal and cutting them down, milling them down into smaller pieces. And the other day I was working on one of these. This one turned out the way it should. Well, I was working on one of them, and when you put it in the part, you're supposed to make sure the vise is locked down. Well, apparently the vise was not locked down. So when the cutter head was coming across here like this, I took it across this way, and I went to go do it a pass back, and it big old gouge in there. It's like, ah! What I think is really funny is this 4-pound chunk of steel here is the fresh part. And see, what happens is when you're working in it, this is what my dad tells me, is that when you're working in an actual machine shop, they will get you raw material close to what you're going to do. But sometimes you got to turn this into this. And I think it's just hilarious how much material we are taking off of these things. This box is about 4 pounds, 3.7 something. This one is like 1.8 something something. So yeah, we took off half the... And in the end, we're going to drill some holes in this. And apparently what this is going to be for is we're making different tools to use later on. And when you're using the mill, you would take these in pairs. Not this one, obviously, because this one's, I don't know what I'll do with this one, actually. And you would use them to balance things out and then put your part on top of it. So I'm thinking about just screwing around with this and putting it in weird positions and taking a cutter to it and cutting a whole bunch of other weird gouges in it and turning it into a little piece of modern art that just makes absolutely no sense. I think that'll be fun. This video is exactly the length I was hoping it would be. I'm Colwen. This has been me talking about some of my a couple of my projects in milling in machine shop class. I had to drill holes in a plate in the right spot, and yes, when I take this to class, there is another plate with pins in it that this has to slide onto. If it don't slide on there, it's not a good part. And these big chunks of metal, I am enjoying the class, and I am hoping that I can learn stuff and get a good paying job out of doing this stuff. Thank you guys for being patient with me and all that, and I am still working on videos, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.